The Mavs were looking to head into the All-Star break on a high note, and this feisty group, led by Dante Exum, knew the assignment and got an A+ tonight. Only 9 healthy players available, 7 finish in double figures. Exum with a season-high 27 points as they shared the load, spread the wealth, played tough D, and continue to take pride in keeping this team afloat. 118-113 is the final. We wrap up win number 30 of the season next here on Mavs Center Court, presented by Legacy Precious Metals. Dana Larson along with Brian Damaris. And Brian, you just got to give this team so much credit. You sweep this back to back with such tough circumstances. You go into the break winning 4 of your last 5 games. You got to feel so good about it. It was just what this team needed, just what these fans needed.
Exactly. And I mentioned it in pregame, what the message was from Jason Kidd to this team. These are the games that you were brought into, specifically these players at this time. There's no Kyrie Irving. There's no Klay Thompson. We know all the other injuries that we had coming into this game. But people like Omax Prosper, Brandon Williams, Kessler Edwards, Max Christie continuing to play effective. Yeah. Dante Exum, Spencer Dinwiddie. You basically played 8 players, and 7 of them scored in double figures. A complete team effort on both sides of the floor against a desperate Miami team that really wanted to get a win and get their first win in the post-Jimmy Butler era.
Yeah, and you had a guy on the other side, Tyler Hero, going for 40 tonight, and he had the ball in his hands late as they were trying to make this extremely interesting. And the Mavericks got a defensive stop when they needed it most.
Switching everything defensively, playing 1 through 5. And look at Exum. Hug him on the corner, force a tough shot, stay vertical, not foul. That was absolutely massive. Those long arms, look at that, making it really difficult, making sure there was no chance you were going to foul him on a 3-point shot like what happened.
I was going to say that.
Minutes earlier. Right. And so that was really important defensively. Again, Spoelstra likes to play. Don't want to call a timeout. Just get it going. And that's the beauty of playing small. As you play 1 through 5, you switch everything. And Exum is not just a guy who can get to the bucket, although he was 1 off his career high with 27 points, but he's able to play really long, rangy defense and made sure he was just going to make that shot as tough as possible for someone who had hit 2 threes here in the 4th and was starting to really get hot from deep.
Yeah, I felt like it was redemption for Exum, who had been the culprit on the 4-point play earlier. Maybe a little ticky-tacky too.
Maybe a little kickoff on by
exactly
there.
Exactly.
Well.
But Dante Exum was he knew he had to play good defense there. He had to put his full body, his full length in the way to make that a tough shot for a guy who was going off, was simply cooking. And that was exactly the moment you felt like they had this in the bag. But they had to make runs along the way. They had a nice run to counter in the 3rd quarter, and they had a really important run in the 4th quarter. Ended up being a 12-0 run to finish things off, really to take control here. And once again, it was everybody involved. And you see Max Christie there with the bucket, with the pass. You see Najee in on the action, and Dante Exum driving, really asserting himself in the paint.
Yeah, Max Christie just playing way above his paper in terms of what he's been asked to do in L.A. in the early part of his career, making the key pass, always makes the smart play, finds the open shooter there, got the catch and shoot 3. After Edwards soars and gets a rebound offensively to keep that possession alive, Exum doing what he does to run things on that end. Listen, this game was getting away from the Mavericks in the 4th quarter there. They were down in a deficit with under 5 minutes to play, and that 12-0 run turned everything around. We've seen this team lose a 12-point lead in the Sacramento game just earlier this week in the 4th quarter in clutch time, but they flipped the script against a team where Ware had gotten to 15 points in the first half, only 2 in the second half. That length was held out. They didn't go to him. Hero was going. You knew he was going to be the focal point. They were to clamp down on him and force him to take tough shots or get the ball out of his hands. So you were getting good defensive possessions and then going the other way and making the smart play offensively.
Well, you mentioned that one loss, and that one loss was in overtime by 1 point. They're basically that away from a 5-game win streak here.
And oh, by the way, Philadelphia was a one last second shot away from getting that. Your 2 losses were basically, at the buzzer.
And that's pretty much what sent Jason Kidd sort of over the edge after that Sacramento loss because he sees how hard this group is working, and you want to see the results. But the results have come here in these last couple of games, and no doubt Jason Kidd will be able to get a little more rest over the break with these in the win column. Let's hear from the Mavs head coach now as we head downstairs.
I mean, you had 9 guys available, 7 of them in double figures. What does that say about your team that you had that balance tonight?
Analytics would say that we needed 8 of the 9 to score in double figures if we had any chance. So someone has to score if all 9 are playing. And I thought the group, again, we've said this here of late, the energy and effort, the way to compete, they're going to make mistakes, but no one's pouting. Everybody's playing. I thought Hardy couldn't find the basket, but kept playing, and guys trusted him. And so, big win before the break, and now we can rest, regroup, and get ready for the second half. But we need everybody who can score, and they did tonight.
How have you guys just stayed together as a team during these last 2 weeks?
Yeah, I think it's a compliment to the organization, to the guys in that locker room, the character. We have guys out tonight. Easy to think about the break, but they came and they competed and found a way to win tonight.
When Exum is playing like this, does it just show how much he was missed in the half season he wasn't available?
Yeah, I think we missed him after day 1 of training camp. I think we all understood that, of what he did for us last year. And so, not having him, for most of the season, that's a big hole, but we never complained. We waited for him to get back. To answer your question, yeah, I think just the pace, his ability to finish, the physicality, and then the rebounding, and just the competition and being able to, knock down that spot up just like he did last year for us.
Have we been sleeping on Kessler Edwards?
Maybe at the beginning of the season, maybe. But we're so deep. And so, maybe. But you guys don't sleep, so I don't quite see how you guys would miss that talent. I know someone in their podcast or something said that he should be starting, or playing in the rotation. So just understanding he is a pro. He's an NBA player. He played last year. Against us with Sacramento, I think also with Brooklyn. And so his talent level is not a starting center, but he is doing everything we've asked him to play center. And that just shows what type of person or player he is. He's all about the team, and he had a monster night tonight.
What does this do for the psyche of the team?
For Kessler Edwards to be getting his flowers here, not just because I'm a fan of Pepperdine, by the way. I don't know if you knew that or not.
Yeah,
but
I wonder why.
But also because it is a guy who was towards the end of a very deep roster, and so he wasn't getting a lot of minutes. Not in the few that he did, it's hard to find your rhythm and find your place. Now that he's getting some time out there, you can see his comfort level. He's had 30 plus starts in the NBA, 160 plus games in the NBA. So this is not a guy new to this. And you could see that the defense has been there. But don't tell this guy he doesn't have some offense. When the shots started falling for him, you could see just his confidence grow. And then the threes were coming along late.
He wasn't shooting threes at all this year, and he gets 3 tonight. And I do like the fact that Jason Kidd's listening to the Take That With You podcast.
Oh, is that? Oh, that's where it came from.
Probably not, but I'm going to take credit for it. But yes, and listen, we talk about him playing center. Jason Kidd mentioned it pregame. It's positionless. When you're switching everything, everybody's playing a little bit of center. Max Christie was playing against Ware sometimes, backing in. Everybody takes a role there, but he's just playing read and react basketball. Your job is simply to bring energy and effort. And you saw that in that key last play down the stretch when Christie hit the 3. The reason he was able to do that is because Kessler was able to go get that offensive rebound and kick it out. And so that's what he's brought in here for. And again, it's relying on players like Kessler Edwards, like Brandon Williams, like Omax, like Max Christie, who's just brought in here playing well above what was asked for him when he was with the Lakers, to bring you 19 points, average 17 plus points a game here, and be that kind of player. Jason Kidd mentioned the character of this team and everything that's gone on around this team for the last 2 weeks, how they kept their head in it. with all of the injuries and then coming in here and losing Clay and Kyrie and not having them available and playing a really tough-nosed team that you know is going to play physical with Eric Spoelstra and coming in here and getting this win. That is absolutely huge. And now you can go, okay, let's get a week off. Let's just regroup. Let's go kick our feet up for a little bit. It feels good doing that off a win.
We need to find some Zen moments, Brian, to get us through here over these next couple of days. So for Kessler, Edwards shoots 50% from the field, 15 points, 9 boards, 3 assists, just a complete stat line as the Mavericks get a great team win. Let's hear from Kessler Edwards now as we take you back downstairs.
Yes. Kessler, you've been playing some center. You want to talk about that? How's that been?
Yeah, we were just talking about it. They got me listed as a center on the box score. I couldn't believe it. But, it's cool. I got a lot of help from my teammates, and coaches just guiding me through it every game. So, yeah.
How much center had you played in your life before this week?
It's been a minute, a little bit in high school, middle school, but, yeah, it's been a long time.
How important was this win for you guys?
It was big time. Just to get this back-to-back going into the break with guys down, I think that just shows our depth. J. Kidd always preaches about just playing with energy and effort, and I think we've been doing that. So,
what's this season been like for you? It's been kind of a strange trip, starting out on a two-way in the G League, and now, kind of a big role for a team that's got it going now.
Yeah, spent a lot of time in the G League at the start of the year, but as a two-way player, you can't ask for much more as far as just opportunity comes. So just trying to hold it down, while the big dogs are out. So I'm just grateful for the opportunity.
Love you guys.
Great attitude and great job. Max Christie, the Mav on the mic when we return here on Mavs Center Court.